Check, check. Mic check, hello. Alright, mukhang live na tayo. Alright, welcome to another episode of Flight Sim. I'm Captain Mike. I will be your captain and your host for today. So, balik tayo ngayon sa Explain, guys. So, medyo matagal na ako hindi nag-explain. Madalas naglalaro na ako ng DCS lately. But I wanna change. Minsan, nakakamiss din magpalipad ng commercial airliners dahil mas chill siya. Teka, buksan ko aircon. So, we're gonna be doing a couple of new things. I wanna look at some stuff here. If I lean in nga, di ba? Lumalapit ang galing gago. Tangina na manghang-mangha ako sa teknolohiya. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be using this, and for the first time, we're gonna be flying with Track IR. I'm gonna try to use this as extensively as I can. And what I'm gonna be doing is, from here, try to experiment with it sa DCS na. I've played around with it in DCS and medyo okay naman siya. But yeah, it's been a long time since I flew like a domestic flight or just X-plane in general. But at the same time, I think teka lang, kailan ba ako huling nagpalipad ng X-plane? Yeah, nagpalipad ako ng X-plane last I think 2 weeks ago if I'm not mistaken, and I think I went to Iloilo. So yeah, I mean, bear with me on this one. I'm gonna be flying an A350 for you guys today. I'm gonna be doing a cold and dark start, meaning wala pang setup, which is pretty new. I haven't really done that. So, okay, let's get started. So, papakita ko sa yung flight plan later, but for now, what I'm gonna be doing is, I will be configuring the aircraft for, naka-on na siya. Actually, ulitin natin yung simulation. So, if I do this, start with engines running, nope, no change, change location, nope, that's good. And I think mabagyo sa Manila ngayon, so we're gonna be flying from Cagayan De Oro, Lagindingan Airport to Metro Manila, Philippines. So, Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Gina Ledesma has liked the stream. Marami pong salamat, ma'am.
Thank you and enjoy.
Gina ba? Gino. Gina. Malabo na mata ko. Sorry, ma'am. Anyway, ba't naka-on na siya? I really, well, I guess that's fine. Let's just fly it. Okay, so let's configure the aircraft now. First, we'll need to, external power available, battery power on. Let me bring up my checklist here para sigurado dahil medyo matagal ko nang hindi ginagawa ito. Cargo air conditioning, heater, NSS data to avionics, gate link, on hydraulics, on. Check natin, meron pa yun, may isa pa. Yung ground data link. Alright, so that's done. Now we need to configure now yung ano natin, yung flight. So I already put my flight plan in, and SimBrief already generated yung flight plan natin. So I'm just gonna put that all into this I'm gonna look at my fuel requirements. So this aircraft actually loads differently than I would say like the A320. It's a little bit more involved, but at the same time, I think there's a lot more control over it. Hindi lang block fuel yung nilalagay mo. So for our destination, ang kailangan nating fuel is 6,440. Alternative natin, destination natin would be in Clark, Pampanga, to 180. Contingency natin na fuel would be 1,407. APU time, I would say just give me 10 minutes of APU time. That should be sufficient. Taxi time, give me 10 minutes. Malapit lang naman yan. To remain or yung finvest natin would be 2,352. Alright. So okay na yan. Implement na natin siya. Alright. So implemented na siya. Fuel loaded. We're good. So at this point, kailangan na natin i-configure yung flight natin mismo dun sa FMS natin. Okay? So punta na tayo dito ngayon. FMS 1. Typically, on an MCDU, you would look at the status first. Pero in-op yata siya for this particular aircraft. So tingnan nyo siya. In-op page. So we're gonna proceed directly with yung init natin. Init, ang flight number natin for this particular flight is PAL 119. And check ko lang kung tama ba yung ginawa natin. Wait a minute. Yep, PAL 119. So Philippine Airlines 119 yung flight number natin from RPMY which is in Dumaguete, to RPLL, which is in Manila. Alternate natin is RPLC. Okay? Cruise altitude natin for this flight is 40,000 feet or Angels 40. Oh shit, hindi Angels 40, that's DCS terms. It's flight level 400, sorry. Naguluhan na ako. Cost index of 15 for this flight. Alright, so that's done. Yung mga ADRs natin, kailangan ko rin siyang i-align. Sorry, mali ginawa ko. 150, 15. Alright. Asa na yung AMRAM, sabi ni Rin Sambilay. Walang AMRAMs dito, bro. DCS yun. Mali, bro. Wrong game. I'm back to commercial flying. I got fired from the Navy, man. ADRs, set to nav. Kasi mag-a-align pa siya. If naubusan tayo oras, I'm just gonna block fuel natin for this flight is right here. It's 12.9 tons. And that should take care of itself. Okay, so okay na siya. Right? Return. And again, I might be missing some things here. I'm looking at a very old checklist. Baka may nakalimutan ko. Medyo matagal na ako hindi naglalaro na itong game na to. IRS, mamaya na yan. Fuel and load. Done. Takeoff performance. Let's see if I could, calculate that now. Pagdating dito sa performance calculator. I wanna take off at, mamaya. Actually, mamaya na natin gawin yan. Di pa natin nasa set up yung flight. See? A bit rusty here. Alright, so that's done. Return muna tayo dito. Mamaya natin gagawin. Actually, yung transition altitude natin is 13,000, not 18,000. Alright. Return. What we're gonna be doing next is we're gonna set up our flight plan. Init, perf, mamaya na, flight plan. So, RPMY tayo. Titignan ko na yung routing natin dun sa flight plan. Okay? So, dito natin sinaset yung waypoints natin and everything else. I never really done this with you guys because I really found it boring. But there's a first time for everything, man. RPMY. Our departure would be on runway 09. Alright. That's the next waypoint after Bravo 473. And we'll check this later on our navigation display. Para sure. Okay. Lyrics and ito, tuloy-tuloy na siya. RPLL, LAIA. By isa. Alright. So, after that, we are going to be, oh, wait, di niya ginawa. Lyrics, Bravo 473 to LAIA. Good. And then, dapat okay na na. There we go. Insert temporary. So, there we go. Pinopulate na niya, right? Kita nyo na siya dyan. Right? So, we're gonna reach our top of climb then, and after, LAIA, we are going to be navigating our arrival na. So, dito na tayo mag-configure sa RPLL, which is our destination airport, Manila International Airport, or Ninoy Aquino International Airport. So, for this, our arrival, we are going to be using runway 24, ILS 24. And our star, or our standard arrival, would be the LAIA 3 Papa arrival. Alright. No transitions, temporary flight plan, insert temporary flight plan, and we're good to go. So now kailangan na lang natin iset yung alternate airport natin. I think there's different conditions, essentially. RPLL, and we're gonna insert next waypoint. Insert next waypoint would be RPLC 20. Actually, we are gonna be using the Oliva departure, assuming that we are still gonna be taking off from 24. Our SID would be the Oliva 2 Papa departure. Oh, sorry, Oliva 2 Bravo departure. All right, and no waypoints anymore. We're gonna be at RPLC. At RPLC, our arrival, we are gonna be using runway 20. The approach would be ILS 20. Ang star na gagamitin natin is Oliva 3 Papa. And then we should be good to go. So, set na tayo sa alternate flight plan natin and everything else. Alright? So, we're good to go here too. Alright? Now, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna back to our active flight plan init. Ang V2 natin would be 139. And our flaps for this takeoff would be flaps 1. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. Okay. Flex to temperature of 35. Alright, so that's taken care of. We can return. And I think, that should be good to go. Align ko lang yung IRS mamaya. Actually, I can force align that if I really wanted to. But wag na. Alright, so that's done. At this point, I can close, all the doors and hatches now. I think all the passengers have boarded from this bus. We're using, stair cars, for this particular, boarding because most airports are not equipped for heavy, aircraft. I'm using an A350 from Cagayan De Oro to Manila, which is pretty unusual. I don't think anyone does that because it's a long haul, aircraft, and it's, supposed to be for, like I said, long distance, flights, right? Alright, so we're done there. I-close na natin yung door. External power is already on, so we should be good to go. What I can do now is here on the ground service page, doors and hatches, I'm gonna close everything. 1L, 2L, bulk, aft, and forward compartments should be closed now. So they should be closing now, as you can see. Doors should be closing na rin. Actually, 2R is open, so sara natin siya. Oh, meron mo palang close all button. Alright. So that's good to go. Couple of things that we need to set up here too. I think pwede na ako mag-align ulit ng IRS ko. Check natin. Navaids. I think I can. Yeah, it's already aligned. So, what else do I need to do? Performance, yung climb, cruise, destination natin. All of those are set up na. We're good. Approach na lang. Okay, so we're now gonna take a look at yung weather sa Manila right now. And I'll change this later as we draw closer. What we're gonna be doing is that we're gonna be checking it, as part of our descent preparation. So RPLL. So for RPLL, yung winds natin would be 310 at 10, meaning 310 degrees bearing. There's a 10 knot wind. Right? Outside air temperature natin would be around 29 degrees. QNH in Manila is currently at hold on one second, 1003. There we go. Ang baro natin for Manila, or for the what do you call this? For the arrival natin, or for the approach natin, which is runway 24, we can take a look at that on the chart. So right now, I'm looking at Navigraph, and you can take a look at that with me if you want to. We're going to take a look at this again later. Our what do you call this? Our minimum decision altitude for runway 24 is 2,500 feet for this approach, right? So at yung minimum altitude natin. Minimum ILS or localizer approach for runway 24, minimum altitude, or sorry, decision altitude, not 2,500. It's 375 feet. Ito, this is what we should be looking at because we're going to be using an ILS approach, right? So gain mode, WX and VD, auto, terrain, GPWS, GS, flaps mode, all on. All right, so we're good to go there. And I think we're good to go. I think I've set that up properly, and I'm gonna display my OIS to center, so I can have this information right here. All right, so I can again use track IR to look around. I'm excited to use this actually. So at this point, we should be ready for push and start. Okay. So at this point, I will be planning my pushback. So let's look at Navigraph again to make sure that we are aware in terms of like we are going to be where we're going to be taking off. We're going to be taking off from runway 27. So runway 27. No, actually no. We're going to be taking off from runway 09. Okay, so let's look at that. I'm super rusty here, man. Runway 09 is here. Runway 09 is to our right, so we're going to be pushing back, facing, that direction, facing the west. Okay, so I'm going to configure push and start now. Better pushback, pre-planned pushback. So it's to our right. We need to be facing this direction. So this should be a good. Yeah, it should be a good heading. All right. Accept that.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
All right. So let's get rid of all the ground equipment. Actually, no. Let me turn on my APU first. I'm gonna proceed to my start checklist. Pushback and start checklist. APU master switch on. I'm going to turn on my beacon at this point. Engine bleed will be turned on after my APU becomes available. And then engine master 2 and 1 later. Okay, so let's remove ground equipment now after APU becomes available. And I think it should be available now, is it? Let me check my electrical. David C has liked the stream. Maraming salamat, David C. Alright, so let's look at okay, available. APU bleed on at this point. APU gen. Let's check all of it to make sure everything's going well. Alright, so I will now disconnect ground equipment. Stairs gone, passengers bus gone, fuel truck gone, luggage loader gone. Okay, so we're ready to go, dudes. Okay. Checking my ECAM info status. And you're not down. I used that later. I'll use that later. Binaba ko na siya kagad. And dapat nakababa position naman talaga siya. We need to be at RTO as far as yung brakes natin. Auto brakes armed. Anti-skid needs to be on. Alright, so we should be good to go. Cockpit door is unlocked. Lock lang natin to para walang pumasok. Alright, I think we should be good to go now. I am going to be asking the tug to start pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, so there's the tow. I like this head tracking thing. It's pretty convenient actually. So I can just look up and shit. Okay, so let's just wait for that dude. Wait for that dude to connect.
Minimum.
Me now. Maybe not. I don't know. Why is this flickering? And why is that guy, not...
Tow connected and bypass pin in service. Release parking brake.
Okay, I think we could release parking brakes now. IGN mode to start.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Turning on engine master 2. Check lang natin. Engine right is spooled up. Turning on engine master switch for the left engine. constraints. Switch to arc. We want to be at 40,000 feet. No restrictions. So no air traffic control at the moment. I will be using Unicom. Alright. We pushed into position. I'll talk to you guys in the air. Auto na natin yan. Sorry, one other thing I need to
Operation
set
complete. Set parking brake.
Matter for lagindingan is hold on a second.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
There we go. Okay, disconnecting tow. Clear to disconnect. So we'll just wait for this guy. Taxi lights.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
It's okay. We'll wait for the hand signal on the left. Lagindingan traffic. Philippine 119er is taxiing to runway 27. Lagindingan. At this point, I can turn off my bleed. I can turn off my APU master switch as well. I'm gonna go to my takeoff configuration for flaps, which is flaps 1. I'm going to perform a takeoff configuration test in a bit. Then muna natin mag-flaps tayo, flaps 1. Takeoff configuration test. It's not, hindi sumusunod yung mouse ko sa ulo ko. Labo. Right. This is snap views here. Takeoff config. And that should be done. Takeoff config normal. And signs on. Taxi lights are on. Mamaya na yung iba. Right? Takeoff config normal. Signs on. Here we go. Arm. So signs on. Alright, so we're going to start our taxi now. But before that, I want to check my, my flight control surfaces. Okay, ailerons full right, neutral, ailerons full left, neutral, elevators full up, neutral, elevators full down, neutral. Alright, so I think you know, we should be good to go at this point. We can taxi now. Alright, taxi lights are on. And I need, eto, medyo manual to pala. Ground spoilers, I need to arm it. Speed brakes armed. Alright, should be good to go. Taxi checklist, nose light, auto brake RTO, and we're on our way. So again, I'm using Track IR, just for testing. I'm supposed to be using, Track IR for DCS World, but at the same time, it's pretty useful. I can look around, but I think it's super sensitive. I can barely hit the buttons. Taxiing. Lagindingan traffic, Philippine 119er is lining up on runway 09, Lagindingan. TCAS to Tara. Strobe lights on. Those of you that just joined us, we are going to be flying from Lagindingan Airport to the very stormy Metro Manila International Airport, or Ninoy Aquino International Airport. I haven't flown X-Plane in a while, so bear with me on this. Control. Disconnected. I don't think I have custom scenery for Lagindingan. I'll start. So we're going to turn the aircraft around. My depth perception is weird right now, so here we go. Okay. Good to go. Let's take off. Alright. I want to switch to... how do I do this again here? Kalimutan ko na. There we go. 20 nautical mile view. Should be good to go. Alright, and we're gonna roll VR of 139. Manflex 35 SRS, thrust blue. $100 knots.
V1.
V1. rotating. Positive rate of climb, gears up. EP engaged. Lever climb. Here's our aircraft. We just departed Lagindingan. Our next waypoint would be Apollo. There are some constraints here. 2065 knots. I think that's a speed change. And now we're going to be accelerating from here. And hard part is done. Welcome to Flight Sim, guys. Thank you for joining me on this rainy and stormy Friday night. I hope you guys are staying dry. I hope you guys have eaten. Sana masarap yung ulam nyo, guys. Here we go. So our next waypoint would be Apollo. Flaps retracted, speed checks. Alright guys, so we're going to be accelerating to around 250 knots until we climb past 250 knots. 10,000 feet. Disarm our speed brakes at this point. Apollo is 4.7 nautical miles, and we're going to do a quick position check for you guys in a bit. This flight is going to take approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes. We're going to be landing on very, I would say, stormy weather. Benji Andalok has liked the stream. Maraming salamat, Benji.
Thank you and enjoy your flight.
I hope you're doing well, man. Right, almost climbing past 10,000 feet here. Let me bring my OIS back to my left side here, so we can take a look at our navigation in a bit. So just to give you guys a quick position check, we are kasalukuyang nasa gitna ng dagat. So we just departed Cagayan De Oro. Kita niyo dito sa chart. And we're navigating to our first waypoint with this Apollo. This flight plan will take us directly over Tagbilaran. And we are going to be over-applying San Carlos, Manpla, and the general area of Cebu City as well. We're going to be overflying Roa City. That's one of our VORs for this flight. Our navids, and then we're going to be reaching the Luzon landmass, and we're going to be descending through the Laia 3 Papil. I want my arrival chart ready. And I would need the Laia 3 Papil departure. Need 10-2 Alpha. There we go. Just preparing that. I would need my approach chart as well. ILSR localizer runway 24. And of course, I would need my airport chart. So just like having that prepared. guys. So we're here at the cockpit of an Airbus A350. So this is the aircraft we're using right now. Turn off my landing lights earlier, so we're good there. We're cruising at a speed of around 305 knots. Our next waypoint would be at Lyrics. So medyo matagal na akong hindi nag-explain. So all of this feels a little awkward for me. I've spent the last, I would say, 2 weeks playing a lot of DCS. It's fun though. I mean, X-Plane is super fun. I love X-Plane. Turn off my seatbelt signs, so people can walk about should they wish to. And we go orbit of the plane. Ugh. One of the things that I also need to get used to when I switch back and forth from playing DCS or X-Plane is the fact that the side stick for Airbuses, which is the primary aircraft I fly on X-Plane, is on the left side. So I'm using my left hand, to control the aircraft. If I'm playing DCS naman, I'm using my right hand because that's just how it works in U.S. military aircraft. It's a trigger. It's my trigger hand, and apparently I think that's a standard configuration for most fighter aircraft. So yeah, kaliwete, kananete, ambidextrous, man. I've become ambidextrous at least. When it comes to flight simulations. So yeah, guys, thank you for joining me. It looks like clear weather pa dito sa part ng Mindanao. But things would get a little bit sketchy as we approach Metro Manila. I'm using real weather. I hope nag-load siya ng maayos because I'm actually looking forward to landing on a little bit turbulent conditions just to keep me sharp. I haven't really flown commercial in a while, but yeah, it's fun to practice that once in a while. Hopefully I get some crosswind along the way. We're still climbing. Our current altitude is we're passing flight level 240. Our cruise altitude will be flight level 400 or 40,000 feet. And I'll check out our top of climb as well and all of those nice things. So let me go back here. FMS flight plan. We should be reaching our top of climb after a waypoint called Lamok. I got a lot of these waypoint names, man. There's Lamok. There's also Bisaya when you're flying, destinations around the Cebu area. In Bicol, there's Sile. And there's also Manok somewhere. Love how these waypoints are named. Alright. So then we're going to be reaching our top of descent after Minor, which is a couple of miles after the Rojas City VOR. So it's nice to be aware of that. And so here we go. If you look at our navigation display, you'd see that after Lamboca we're going to be reaching our top of climb. So yeah, that's our route for today. So right now we are, let me just give you a quick view here. We're currently approaching the general area of Tagbilaran. So we should be overflying Tagbilaran, the Panglao area, Bohol, in I would say about 3 minutes time. So we're in that general area. It's been a while, nakakamiss din. Alright, so I'll switch to my OIS here muna so I can keep a better eye at my flight plan here. At this menu. This is what I like about the A350. Dami niyang ganito. Normal procedures. Descent prep later. Alright, I'll prepare all of that. Approaching our top of climb. Again, after Lamok, right? So our next waypoint would be Forta. We're actually overflying Forta right now. Lowai is our next waypoint. I think I love this track IR. I could get used to this. Ayoko lang magsuot na sombrero mo akong Jimmy Santos, but it's fine. It works. Brian Ontalanas, like the stream. Maraming salamat, pare. Kamusta, Brian? Kamusta ang Bitcoin? Kamusta ang negosyo? Uy, I can even tilt my head and it follows me. I can even do this, side to side. Love this. It's super useful for DCS. Not as useful in I would say, explain, but it helps. I mean, it kind of gives you that genuine feel that you're in a cockpit. I'm just looking around, you know. I don't need to rely too much on my snap views, right? Aid lang Nayas, like the stream. Aid, ito na yung sinasabi ko sa'yo, Aid. Check this shit out. I'm actually doing my head tracking thing. Up and down, right to left. Going near my instruments. Going far from my instruments. Looking behind me. Pretty cool stuff. Grabe na teknolohiya ngayon. Dati nung naglalaro ko, nung bata ako, 8-bit lang, tuwan-tuwa na ako. Ngayon, meron ng head tracking. Alright, so we're currently at the flight level 310, or passing flight level 310. Our final cruise altitude for this flight is flight level 400. And for those of you just joined in, we are Philippine Airlines Flight 119er. We are an Airbus A350-900 service from Cagayan De Oro City in the Philippines to Ninoy Aquino International Airport in Manila. We should expect some stormy weather and some very entertaining landing procedures from myself. It's Manning Doyogan. It's like the stream. How are you doing? It's Manning Doyogan. I hope you're staying dry. I hope masarap yung ulam nyo. And I hope you're enjoying so far. Right, so we're gonna do a quick position check at this point. We are currently overflying Tagbilaran. We should be exiting the general landmass where Tagbilaran, Panglao, and Bohol is. And we're going to be overflying the landmass where Cebu City is. We're not going to be directly overflying Cebu, but we're going to be in that vicinity. Naga, Karkar, and then we're going to be overflying San Carlos and Cadiz. So that's where we are right now. We're approaching that location. So balik na tayo dito. Alright guys. So we're about to approach our top of climb. Lamok is the next waypoint, and Lamok is 13 nautical miles away. Track IR is pretty fun. I could even look at the edge of the glare shield. It's pretty cool. I can zoom in on things. It's pretty handy. I like it. I like it. Medyo sensitive lang siya, so I guess I need to adjust how my track IR works. I mean, if I move my head just a little bit, I mean, it will go over the place. Pretty handy though. It kind of gives you that genuine feel. I've tried VR then, and VR is great, man. It's super immersive. So if I'm doing a VR flight right now, it's crazy immersive. It feels like you're in the cockpit of a real airplane. You can look left, you can look right. You can do pretty much whatever you're doing with track IR. Pero I can't, for the life of me, sustain wearing a VR goggle for more than 30 minutes. Nasusuka ako. That's just the age talking, by the way, but you know what I mean. Alright, so we are 4 nautical miles away from Lamok. And we are going to be hitting our top of climb very shortly. I was going to ask why you got a Track IR5 instead of a Tobii Eye Tracker 5, but then I looked at the price. Here's a life hack, Laura. So I wasn't supposed to get a Track IR5, so I went on Lazada and searched for a Track IR alternative. So the results gave me a Track NP5, right? So that's a Chinese knockoff, I would say. But it, the reviews say it does work perfectly. I ordered that, and Lazada gave me a Track IR5. Or maybe they're just advertising it as a Track NP5. But in reality, they're the OEM manufacturer for Track IR, and they just sent it. It's without a box. So I received it from Lazada without a box, and I'm super happy with it. I don't care about the box. If you look at the Track IR5, wala naman siyang box talaga. It's like in one of those clamshell, what do you call this? Annoying plastic packages. This one came in a generic box and a Ziploc bag. But dude, it's the real deal. It's Track IR5. Oh, I can even raise my head. I can bump my head and stuff. It's pretty cool. So this entire thing is just me testing the Track IR5, you know, before I engage in combat missions in DCS. Anyways, guys, I am about to reach my top of climb. At my top of climb, I will be at the flight level 400, and I am currently at the flight level 380. Sounds like you got sold something illegal, said Aid Magnaye. Well, it's not what I ordered, man. I didn't ask for this. You know what I mean? Anong gagawin ko? Return it to China? I'm not gonna pay for postage back to China, man. And someone who has done e-commerce in for such a long time, you only return something when you're unhappy with it. If they give you something extra, or you know, something that you didn't pay for, but it's better than what you ordered, keep it. Why the hell would you return it, right? Alright, guys, so we are now entering the area of Cebu City, at least the landmass where Cebu City is. Again, we are not going to be flying on top of Cebu. We are now overflying a city called Karkar, but if you look here, Cebu City is right here, Talisay and everything else. So Mandaue, the airport, is over to our 3 o'clock, right? We should be passing this landmass in a bit, less than a minute. Then we're going to be overflying the San Carlos area. Then from there, Rojas City, and then all the way up to the Calapan Oriental Mindoro area, and we're going to be navigating our arrival to Manila. Alright? So, that's what we're doing. Okay, so for those of you who just joined in on Twitch or YouTube, we are multi-streaming on 3 channels right now. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you so much for joining me this Friday night. I wanted to do a quick and short flight, and again, this is going to be an hour 15 minutes if nothing goes wrong, but we are in for some stormy weather, guys. But yeah, this is just me testing Track IR and really flying X-Plane for the first time in a long while. Just to give you an idea of how much time I spent in DCS. I recently picked up DCS. That's the reason why I have a Track IR5, right? I think I already spent like 200 hours in DCS. I've only spent like, 300 hours in X-Plane. And I only got into DCS like, I don't know, less than a month ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. The context switch is crazy. Hey, Magnaya, testing YouTube. Yes, thank you, sir. It works. Thank you so much. I'm looking at it on my OBS plugin and it does work. I like that. So let me expand my view for a little bit here. We are going to be reaching our top of descent around here at Minor. So I would say at around the Rojas City VOR, I will be preparing for descent. Making my descent preparations, doing adjustments and that kind of thing. But yeah, dude, it's pretty cool. This is super immersive though, I have to say. I don't have to right click and drag around. It's more fun with Pew Pew, said, what do you call this, Lars Hansen. Aid Bagnaya says YouTube is smooth. Oh yeah. They are the original video compression, I guess, like innovators, right? I mean, I think Netflix is smoother, I would say. It takes less bandwidth. I think they've done some black magic with their video compression. But YouTube is, I would say, much better than Facebook. Facebook is ass. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, don't take away my level up badge. Facebook is good. Especially like the fact that you control democratic elections and that kind of thing. That's pretty cool. Alright, so we're approaching Carlo, 30 nautical miles away. I'm gonna switch back to 80 nautical miles. At Rojas City, we are going to be preparing for descent. Facebook live streaming UX is the pits, said Lars Hansen. But then again, Lars, you're never happy with any technology. What was the last time you were happy about? You don't like Windows, you don't like Mac, you don't like, do you even like Linux now? You're on Windows now because of games, I don't know. You don't like Amazon, you don't like AWS. What is it that you don't like, man? Sorry, I need to adjust a couple of things here, loudspeakers. Alright, let me check for flight or air traffic control. We have no air traffic control anywhere. So it looks like we're going to be Unicom all the way to Manila, guys. Yeah, we're reach our cruise altitude. We're not going to be staying here for long. We are going to be preparing for descent around Rojas City. And from there, we're going to be descending to, I believe, 2,500 feet. That is our approach fix for ILS 24 in Manila. I'm excited to land an Airbus. It's been a while. Look at this majestic aircraft. I absolutely love the A350. If I could, I would just fly the A350 and not bother with the A320. I mean, the A320 is a classic, or the A320 family. The A321, I love that too. But I just like this so much better. It's a very beautiful aircraft. So main views, we could look at what it looks like in first class. So those are the creepy passengers that we saw on our last stream. And this is what it looks like if you're a passenger on this flight. Social distancing rules, even first class is practically empty. Looking out the window, sipping my champagne. On a domestic flight. Miss, nasan yung champagne ko tsaka yung steak? Tagal na natin umalis sa Dumaguete, sa Cagayan De Oro. Wala pa yung steak ko. And of course, this is first class, and I think there's a bar somewhere. There you go. There's a bar in between first class and business class, which is pretty dope, if you ask me. Let's go back to the cockpit, make sure the plane is on track. Alright, so I'm currently at 80 nautical miles at Rojas City. I will be preparing for descent. Alright. So, what else? Do this. Can stretch my neck. It's pretty cool. We have a crazy 47 knot crosswind right now at flight level 400. I wonder what the weather is in Manila. Is like in Manila. Sana hindi masyado mabagyo. I really want to land this plane. I mean, it's been a while. It's been a while since I properly landed like an A350. I think on our last flight, I flew an A321, and that went well. That went okay. I don't know what's gonna happen here. Hey, now I like Arma, said Lars Hansen. Well, that's true. I'm gonna get into Arma soon. Don't worry, man. Okay, so let's do a quick position check right now. We are currently in the vicinity of Cadiz and Manapla. And we are going to be exiting this landmass in about, I would say 2 minutes and 50 seconds or so. And then we're going to be crossing over to the Rojas City side of, the Visayas region, central Visayas region. Once there, we are going to be exiting that landmass, and we're going to be going to the general direction of Calapan Oriental Mindoro and navigating our arrival to Manila. We're going to be approaching Manila from the east this time because we are going to be landing on runway 24. Alright, some pretty gnarly crosswinds here at 43 knots. Okay, so we're approaching Ross City. 40 nautical miles. So a quick check here. I'm looking at the wing and it's tilted. Why is that? I'm in economy class. That's the reason why you have the wing visible in the window. Exterior. Went up right. Shark up right. Beautiful aircraft. Love it. Alright. So at this point, we are going to be preparing for descent. We need to obtain the weather. I need to switch to my performance page here. Active performance. I want to make sure I configure the approach correctly. So at this point, I will be there because since there's no ATIS information, I'll be toggling this. I'm gonna get metadata for Manila. So let's just check this out really quickly. The winds in Manila is 110.3. So that's pretty calm. Boo! Not fun. 110.3. Ang QNH natin for Manila is 1002. We're going to be landing at flaps full. Our barrow is still 375. That never changed. Okay. Rudder obtained. And what we need to do is preset our barrow here. It's already preset to 1002. Long-term preset. That's done. Ecam status and memos, I have nothing. But mamaya pa naman yan. I'll check it again later. Approach data has been inserted. And navigate space, I've checked that earlier. I don't need to do that. Secondary pages as required. Auto brake as required. We're gonna be doing auto brake 1, but mamaya na yan. This is more of like the actual descent stuff now. So, alright, you know, for our approach fix, I am gonna look at our chart now for our arrival chart, sorry. So let's look at that right now. So we are going to be referencing chart 10-2 alpha, which is for the LAIA 3 Papa arrival. So we are you know, going to be here. There are some constraints here. We need to be at or above flight level 160 once we reach this waypoint. We're going to be traveling at a bearing of 349 degrees until we hit Boris. At Boris, we need to be at or above 9,000 feet. And then we're going to hit, you know, a waypoint called Abesa. At Abesa, no restrictions for altitude, but it says here that we need to be at maximum 230 knots. And then we're going to be you know, proceeding as frag, not as frag, that's a DCS term, as planned, you know, to runway 24. I'm going to be flying this heading and then banking left and turning left, you know, to intercept the ILS signal on ILS runway 24. Warning on terrain, we have an obstacle here that is 7,081 feet, but that shouldn't, you know, even be close to where we are maybe. Okay, so approaching Rojas City. So I also want to look at our ILS chart. So for our ILS chart, you know, we are referencing our approach chart. It's 11-2, which is the ILS approach for runway 24 in Metro Manila, Manila International Airport. Decision altitude will be 375 feet. I've already put that. Airport elevation is 75 feet. Runway elevation is also 75 feet. If we do need to turn around, we need to track 241 and climb to 4,000 feet. At 4,000, we need to turn left and set a holding pattern over the Manila International Airport viewer, or the Manila viewer, or as instructed by ATC. But since walang ATC, we're not going to be doing that. Our approach or fix or altitude would be 2,500 feet to properly intercept that ILS signal, and that's what I'm going to be doing and setting manage descent. Alright, so that's that. We're going to go back here and starting configuring our altitude. Then we'll let VNAV do its work. $2,500 feet. Alright, I'm switching to 80 nautical miles here. So at minor, which is our reference waypoint for top of descent, we should you know, start thinking of descending 2,500 feet. Once again, if you just joined us, we are Philippine Airlines Flight 119er, Airbus A350 service from Laguindingan Airport at Cagayan De Oro to Manila International Airport, or Ninoy Aquino International Airport. We're expecting some stormy weather, but according to my METARS data, it looks like winds are pretty calm on the surface. Double check that. It's 3 knots in surface. Ang hangin kaya sa labas, bakit ganun? Auto brakes as required. I want auto brake low. Anti-ice as required. We don't need that. Okay. So 60 miles before our top of descent. Track IR is pretty cool. Loving it, man. I'm excited to do DCS missions now that I have track IR. Alright, so what else should I be doing here? I need to prepare for my next checklist. Next checklist is normal procedures and actually descent. Let's configure for descent at 10,000 feet. We are about, I would say like 55 nautical miles away from our top of descent, which is indicated by this white downsloping arrow right here, which is right after minor or minor. Okay. And they said the Track IR is also compatible with a bunch of first-person shooters. I don't know why you would like head tracking on first-person shooters. To me, that just seems very confusing. But man, you know, anything to get an advantage or an edge, right, man? So let's try to play some competitive squad or insurgency or ground branch as well using the Track IR next time. I just hate wearing a stupid hat. Jimmy Santos, eh. It works. It actually works very, very flawlessly. I think I just need to fine-tune it a little bit. I can see it being useful when driving vehicles in FPS. Yes, absolutely. So if you're playing Forza, the Track IR would allow you to look around, you know, and not just where the camera is pointing, right? Similar to what I'm doing now. But when you're flying an Airbus, you really don't need to look around. There's nothing to see but clouds and terrain below you, right? But I definitely could see it being super useful in FPS. Yeah, for those of you just joined us again, and I keep on saying this, we are Philippine Airlines Flight 119er, Airbus A350 service from Laguindingan in Cagayan de Oro to Ninoy Aquino International Airport. We are about like 60% done with our journey. I appreciate your company. I appreciate your love and support. I've been streaming for a little over 3.5 months now, and it's been quite alright, man. It's fun. It's like playing video games with your friends watching you. But instead of friends, you have some randos with weird names watching you. Streaming is just all about, like, you know, just being watched, you know. If you look at my setup right now, I have 3 cameras, you know, pointing at what I'm doing. I have the Track IR. I have a Logitech C922, which is my camera for my face, and I have a Red Dragon Live, you know, that is pointed to my instruments. Because y'all need to see what I'm doing at all times. Because I need attention. That's what streaming is, man. Alright, approaching Minor. Minor about less than 40 nautical miles. Let's switch my ND to 40. So currently, we are, let me see. We are near the area of Cahidocan. We're approaching the city of San Agustin. And that's it. Alright, so approaching Minor. Our aircraft right there, crabbing because we have a meaningful amount of crosswind coming from you know, our headwind right now, 33 knots at this altitude. I am looking at Manila, and that it doesn't seem like there's any traffic there or traffic controller. There is some VATSIM Unicom activity, but I don't see any controllers. There might be some tower. We'll see. Taking a look at this beautiful aircraft. It's an Airbus A350-900. I want to try flying older planes and maybe try my hand on flying a Boeing, but then again I don't have the proper flight equipment for it. I only have a side stick and a throttle quadrant, so ayoko nang bumili ng mga ng equipment, and I take my simulation seriously, man. Need to have the proper equipment for it, because you know what they say, If you can't perform, Japorm. So, approaching Minor. Minor at 10 miles. I'll switch to 20 nautical mile view here. Pwede kong lapitan yung knobs, dude. Diba? Ang galing. Right? Minor at 20. So I could already see my top of descent there around 20 nautical miles away. Steady cruising at 40,000 feet and around 260 knots. We are about 70% done with this trip. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. It's been a while. Minor in about 1.5 nautical miles, and we're going to be preparing for descent. So you could also see the descent profile here, this dotted line right here. Pretty good. Okay, so switching to 10 miles. There we go, in 5 nautical miles, so I think I can do that. Top of climb, and we're going to do manage descent. Confirming manage descent, magenta yung altitude natin. Manila traffic advisory, Philippine 119er is 80 nautical miles away from Laia, south of Laia. We are top of descent. We are descending to 2,500 feet from flight level 400 in Manila. Alright guys, we're starting our descent. As you can see, the aircraft is descending at a rate of 1,000 feet per minute, maintaining 250 knots for this descent. Should be a very smooth descent. See the aircraft doing that thing right now, which is good. Passing flight level 390, and we're going to check our descent prep. Air reference, all of those have been set. FLS data, that's been set. So let's check all of those up. I'll turn on my seatbelt signs closer to 10,000 feet. FLS data, check the ref, check checklist menu, normal procedures, descent at 10,000 feet in a bit. Right? So we're now descending at the rate of 1,300 feet per minute. Extending my navigation display range to 80 nautical miles. My image, what do you call this? Or the video that I'm trying to use for my face. I'm using a software called XSplit, right? It's supposed to remove the background, but because of the contrast, I'm not using a green screen, nor am I using any sort of ring light. You could see some cow head milk sa likod ko. So I'm actually flying an Airbus from a bodega. From a 7-Eleven. Laia coming up at 65 nautical miles, and that's going to be the start of our arrival. So let me just review. Yeah, so we're going to be approaching Laia from here. We need to be at or above flight level 160 at that point, maximum of 250 knots. Yeah, navigating to Boris at or above 9,000 feet. Continuing our descent to Abesa, maximum 230 knots, and maximum 210 knots at Natay, at or above 5,000 feet. Alright. That's pretty good. EA is now at 60 nautical miles away. Again, we're multi-streaming to Twitch, to YouTube, as well as Facebook. For all of you watching on those channels, and if you just joined in, we are Philippine Airlines Flight 119, 9er. That's what pilots should say. And we are an Airbus A350 service from Cagayan De Oro, Philippines, to Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Right now, we are over the island of Corcuera. I don't know how to describe that, so let me just show you. So, dito tayo ngayon. Right. In a bit, we are going to be in the vicinity of Calapan Oriental, Mindoro, and entering the main landmass of Luzon. Then we're going to be navigating our arrival. Our next waypoint is actually the start of our star, or our standard arrival. So, hang in there. I'll get you on the ground shortly enough. I was hoping for some stormy weather. I don't think I'm gonna get it. It's pretty calm right now. There's here at around 80 nautical miles away, Boris is a waypoint that we need to be aware of. We need to be at or above 9,000 feet there, seen by this constraint. I'm allowing the flight computer to manage my descent. If you can see here, this magenta dot represents the constraint, and this descent profile will take us close to that, but still above that, which means that it will respect this constraint right here at Boris, which is pretty cool if you ask me. And we have been in the air for about 44 minutes now, which is, about on schedule. Let's change the music naman. Kanina pa dati pinapatukan. Some more lo-fi shit here. Looking at vPilot and VATSIM, I don't see any flight controllers, so we're on our way, on our own, all the way to Manila. View from business class if you're traveling here. Bunch of zombies with you in the cabin. Lost in thought. This guy's probably dead. But there's booze. There's a Zinfandel from 1997. Ew. And a bunch of other spirits here. Alright. We also are going to be looking at wing views on the right, wing views on the left. Looks to be from underneath the aircraft. There's really no terrain that you can see. I guess it's a stormy day, guys. We're approaching Laia in 35 miles. It's a bit complicated to set this aircraft up. It's been a while. Tagal ko na hindi naglaro na explain, but got off the ground. I'm happy about that. Zoom out a little bit just to look at our flight plan. Yeah, looks about right. Boris at 9,000 feet. Lapit na tayo. We are 80% done with this trip. Thank you so much to everyone who shared the stream. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Everyone who's following and then watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Flight Simp. My real name is Mike, and I typically play flight simulation games, namely Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane, DCS World, From time to time, I play first-person shooters as well. Most, especially, what about Squad, Insurgency. I haven't played that in a while, but I play that from time to time. I also play, ano pa ba? Ground Branch, which is a new game that I'm playing, and 0 Hour. I should revisit those games. Those are pretty fun games. Okay, we are currently at flight level 230. We should expect a speed change around this point, this magenta dot right here. Aircraft is continuing to descend at a rate of 1,700 feet per minute. We're currently at flight level 230 now. Good smooth descent. And for those of you who just joined us, we are Philippine Airlines Flight 119, Airbus A350 service from Laguindingan in Cagayan De Oro to Ninoy Aquino International Airport in Manila. We are now descending through flight level 220. And I'm still not over how smooth track IR is. It's pretty cool. And it actually locks on to the center position too, so you can snap back to it when you want to. It's nice. Tilt right, tilt left, up, down. Pretty fun. For those of you who just joined us, I'm testing Track IR5. It's this thing that I wear on my head, not the hat. The hat is where it clips to. So these are the silver sticker fingers that I'm attaching to the brim of my hat. Allows me to control the view of the plane based on my head movement. Not the plane, but the camera of the plane, the cockpit at least, which is pretty fucking fun. I can't wait to use this on DCS later. And I love that it's a Friday. I don't have any meetings. I don't have any more work. Who am I kidding? I'm gonna work later. And we are 9 miles away from La Ia. Weather seems to be clearing up as we break cloud cover. Need to be at 9,000 feet in about 38 nautical miles, which I think we should be able to meet at this trajectory. We manage speed, manage everything. We're good. Airbus A350 with the Philippine Airlines livery. Are my speed brakes up? Nope. Takot ako po siya. Banking right now. We're headed to our next waypoint, which is Boris. No controllers yet in Manila, so I'll be on my own landing this thing. Switching to 40 nautical miles. Sayang yung terrain. I mean, we could have had a scenic view, but no. It's all clouds and weird shadows. Alright, so that was the terrain that we needed to be aware of in our chart, I believe. We flew past it. All clouds on this trip, man, on this flight. 26 knot crosswind. At this altitude, we're descending. We are at flight level 160, and we are descending at a rate of 1,700 feet per minute. We should be able to meet the constraint for Boris, which is 9,000 feet or above. We're going to have a speed change right here, and everything's good so far. Some warming up in the beginning of the flight while I turn on and set up the aircraft. I never really do cold and dark start precisely because of that. Medyo boring siya. I mean, I find it very interesting. I watch other streamers do cold and dark start, but I don't think I have you know, the charisma to pull off an interesting cold and dark start tutorial or just talking through it. I end up missing things. Alright, so we are now 18 miles away from Boris. We should be landing shortly. I would say in around the next 20 minutes or so. Even less. So just do a quick position check right now. We are currently in the area of Rosario, San Juan, the general Batangas area. We are going to be overflying the areas of San Pablo, Laguna as well. We are going to be overflying Laguna de Bay as well. And we're going to be banking left to approach runway 24 in Manila International Airport. So thank you so much for joining me today. Fist bump, buddy. There you go. What's that? Yeah, I'm still flying. Kids are not allowed in the cockpit, man. Just kidding. I'll see you later, bud. Fist bump first.
In real life planes, kids are not allowed.
Yeah, in real life, kids are not allowed.
They're allowed in the passenger seats, though.
Correct.
Wait,
They are.
But why did he end the video?
So I need to do
Why did he end the
1002
video?
now on QNH.
Why did he end the video?
I didn't end the video, buddy. I'm still doing. I'll get to you later, okay?
I don't know why you just said thank you for flying this.
I don't know, bud. See you later, buddy. I'll see you. I need to land the plane, man. It's hard. Daddy can't land. Daddy's horrible at landing. So let me be for now. Yeah. Alright, so once we hit that magenta dot, we should be expecting a speed change. 9,000 feet or above at Boris. At Besa, 230 knots max. And at Natay, we need to be at or above 5,000 feet. Then we're going to be aligning ourselves to runway 24. And we're going to be landing, which is always the fun part. 10,000 feet. Flip on that fasten seatbelt sign. Alright. Next, descent monitor. Rate of descent as required. Speed brakes as required. I don't need that. XR EFIS as required. I don't need that. Holding pattern as required. I don't need that. Checklist menu. Normal procedures will be using precision approach. On the initial approach, we need to look for all of these things. And then we're going to do our landing checklist right after that. So we're here, guys. Almost here, at least. Sending to 10,000 feet. And for those of you who just joined us, you're catching the tail end of the flight of Philippine 119er. We are an Airbus A350 service from Cagayan De Oro, Nagintingan Airport to Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Lapit na tayo mag-landing. Or mag-crash. Depende yan. Dahil medyo banuna tayo sa X-plane. Besa. Here's the next waypoint. Still continuing our descent here. It looks like the descent profile is going to hit all of those waypoints. Pretty spot on. It's pretty good. Like that. Let me bring back my OIS to my left side now. I want to check out my charts and reference the charts. Our our deceleration point would be right here. Before Natay. Descending through cloud cover now. Pretty bad visibility on this descent. Currently here, we're gonna hit Abesa, and then we're gonna turn left 332 degrees, or sorry, to bearing 332, and turning left to runway 24. There we go. We broke cloud cover. Pretty gloomy. This is pretty accurate. 10,000 feet low. I need to turn on my landing lights. Taxi lights as well para tapos na siya. Hindi na siya isipin mamaya. And my runway turn-off lights. My logo lights has been on auto, which works. Doesn't really matter. Here we are. Riders through the storm. Pero medyo weak-ass storm to. Hindi naman pala ganun kalaki. The reason why I wanted to fly Manila is because there's a storm. I wanted to see if I could get some crosswind action going. Anyway, hitting Abesa at 230 knots, so I could do no flaps. One. Actually, I can do it now, I believe. Flaps 1. Just extending our flaps. Okay. Back my OS to the left side. Ray Aquinos, like the stream. Maraming salamat, Ray. Kamusta, pare? Abesa, 230 knots. And now we should be able to hit that. There's a speed change dot right here. Switching to 20 nautical miles. We're very close. 7,000 feet. Need any of these anymore. Let me do my normal procedures for my precision approach for my final. Just prepare that. When we land in Ninoy Aquino International Airport, we need to find a heavy bay at Terminal 2. So if I remember correctly, sa unahan siya or sa corners. I don't even remember. I haven't flown this aircraft in such a long time. These clouds look okay. They're not that bad anymore. I used to think they were so bad. We're gonna hit our deceleration point before Natay, like I said. And you can see the aircraft adjusting to the constraints to 230 knots at Abesa. We're now banking to the left. It's our aircraft. So we're gonna make our final turn in about 15 nautical miles, and that's gonna be our approach to runway 24. No controllers in Manila. We're gonna be Unicom all the way, man. Deceleration point right now. Hit that. I can't see anything. Okay, let's prepare or configure for our approach. Turn off that music for now. Acceleration point will be hit. We are going to be at 5,000 feet. and then descend to 2,500 feet at Zulu, and on our final, we are good to go. Descending further. I think we broke cloud cover, which is good. See some terrain here. This is Laguna de Bay. Laguna de Bay. Tomato, tomato. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm gonna turn left into 24 in a bit. So runway should be on that side. Alright guys, let's configure. Flaps too. I really shouldn't do that, but mamalimutan ko. Ascending to 2,500 feet now. Should be able to hit that. Alright. Continuing our descent. Next waypoint is Zulu. Switching to 10 nautical miles. The track IR is pretty handy. I like it. I keep on saying that because I was skeptical about it, but it's actually pretty good. Let me check if the localizer signal has been captured, and there it is. Yes, 109 decimal liner. Auto brakes are configured, so let's do that. Speed brakes need to be armed. Descending. Can I do flaps 3 now? Yeah, there we go.
2,500.
Terrain.
It's not right. Is my QNH actually right? 1002? QNH 103. Alright, so nag-adjust siya. Approach mode active. There we go.
2,000.
There's Manila. I see the skyline of Manila now. Localizer captured. Glide slope will be captured shortly. Runway is in sight. Nine knot crosswind. I'm not sure if that's surface winds as well. Mamaya pagbabahan natin. We'll see.
2,000.
Maraming paglinawan. It's like the stream. Maraming salamat, bro. Approach mode active. Glide slope will be captured shortly. Manila traffic, Philippine 119er is on final for runway 24 Manila. Bring out my airport chart. Set my altitude to 4,000 feet for the go around altitude. Glide slope captured. Flaps full. Gears down.
$2,000.
Ecam wheel page, flight parameters, okay, 2,000. Seven knot headwind. 140 knots. I want to vacate a Romeo 4. Check. Disconnecting autopilot. Adjusting for glide a little bit.
500.
Check.
100 above. 400. 300. Minimum
Continue.
200. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Reverse green. $70 knots, reverse idle. Manual braking. Auto brakes off. Clean up. Flaps up. Manila traffic, Philippine 119er has vacated runway 24, Manila. Landing lights off. Strobes off. There's a Charlie. So let me enable head tracking back. So I can swivel my head. Pretty good landing at less than 200, negative 200 feet per minute. I got like 190, which is good. I'll check out the replays later, but I'm pretty happy about that. I mean, I could have aligned it better, but not bad. Not bad at all. Let's do some cleanup here for a little bit. Sort of softening. Alright, good stuff, guys. Thank you for joining me on this flight. I'm just going to secure the aircraft and let's look at that replay. I kind of turned off head tracking or track IR in the final phase of that flight because it's so wobbly. Medyo mahirap din siya, dudes. I believe the heavy bay is right there, if I'm not mistaken. And indeed it is. So I'm gonna take this bay. This is for heavy aircraft, which I certainly qualify for as an A350. At least there's marshallers now. Are you gonna do your job, dude? Right, okay. Forward. Ang masagasaan ko, parang Austin Powers. Okay, let's look at him. You want me to go forward? There we go. Brake set. Taxi light off. External lighting off except the logo light probably. I'm going to configure the aircraft, to get my ground equipment stuff. Ground equipment, auto config. Give me ground power unit as well. Doors and hatches. Open 1L, open 2L. And bulk and aft. So at this point I can turn off engine master switch 2. I can turn off engine master switch 1. And passengers are free to disembark. Seatbelts off. Fuel pumps off. And I think I should be good to go at this point, right? Most light is on for some reason, so patay na rin natin. External power is on. Alright guys, so aircraft is secure. People can go down now, but what's your lights? Oh, my runway turn-off lights, sorry. Okay, so we arrived safely in Manila. I was expecting pretty intense weather, but now the aircraft is secure. Aircraft is also connected to a ground power unit. People can disembark now. We arrived safely, and that's the end of the flight. So thank you so much for joining me on this quick trip. It's been a while since I last did X-Plane, but all in all, I'm pretty happy about that. I mean, there was some awkwardness in the beginning, like I said, with the startup procedures and everything, but I got the hang of it. I got it. I warmed up to it, let's just say. Okay, so we're now in Manila, Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Terminal 2, and if it's representative of the current weather, it looks like it's not as stormy as we would expect. Oh, ba't hindi nagbaba yung ano natin, speed brakes? That should be gone after retractor flaps, right? It's crazy, man. Anyway, let's look at some flight replays. And should be fun. Let's look at the flight replay. So here we are on our approach. Forward natin ng konti. So we are landing on runway 24. So here I am adjusting a little bit to that headwind. Here we are. Here's the flare. Good stuff. There we go. Good landing. Negative 199 feet per minute. Reversers. Speed brakes. Or spoilers. I'm skewed to the right. I corrected that on the rollout. So, pretty good. So there's the rest of Manila International Airport for you. There's Terminal 2. That's where we're going to be parking. This bay right here. And we're going to be exiting on Romeo, I believe. Not that taxiway, but the next taxiway. Right? So let's look at it from tower view. So here is Ninoy Aquino International Airport Tower. Shout out Captain watching from Bacolod City. God bless. Andre Jerome Aman. Maraming salamat sa pagtangkilik sa flight sim. And here we are. If you are the tower controller in Ninoy Aquino International Airport, this is what you're going to be seeing. So that's us. I mean, a little bit slow on the approach because there's some headwind. We were doing like a 136 knot VAP or final approach speed. But it's pretty good. I like it. So this is us. We are using an A350. And there's the touchdown zone. There's the flare. Good flare right there. Very much within the touchdown zone. Pretty good stuff. Alright. So let's look at another view. So how about we look at it from the under view, or the under fuselage view. Exterior. Tip right. The exterior. Main views. Here we go. Let's try this. It's always an interesting angle.
Ten, 20, 50, 60, 100, 200.
This is our final approach.
300, 400.
Terrain.
I love the main gears of the A350.
Terrain.
Looks so sexy.
Terrain.
There is some wind, man. I mean, you could hear, you could pretty much hear it howling. So let me turn that off. Turn the music off. You could see, you could hear the wind howling, right? They're manifesting as headwinds, and that's the reason why we're crabbing a little bit. Not by a lot, but we're still crabbing. That's the reason I couldn't align it properly either.
60.
There's the flare.
20, 10.
And there's the kiss. There goes the nose wheel. And we're going to go back to center line after that. So that's pretty good. Let's look at it from wing view left or wing view right, which is what you're going to be seeing if you are a passenger on this flight on an A350 and landing on Manila International Airport.
10, 20, 40, 50, 80, 100, 200.
There you go. So last 200 feet of the approach.
Terrain.
100.
Terrain.
60.
Terrain.
Looks good.
20, 10.
There you go. Bouncy lang talaga yung wings ng A350, but that's actually pretty good. I'm happy with that landing. It's a negative 190 FPM, which is good. And what other views can we look at? Asna. Let's do one final view. This way. See how badly we skewed the alignment of that approach. Okay, so here we are, approaching. I'm more skewed than I would care to admit, but that would do. I mean, it's a pretty safe landing. There's the touchdown zone. And there was us gliding softly into the runway. Pretty good. One last. There we go. See the rest of urban Metro Manila there. Cityscapes for you. Actually looks really nice at dusk and some weather. We are landing. And there we go. There's the kiss. There's the nose wheel. Reversers. Spoilers. There's Terminal 3 to our right. Terminal 2 over here. Terminal 1 over there. We're going to be exiting on Romeo, which is further down, close to runway 06. Alright, so let's check out one last view from tower again. Zoom in a little bit on this one. it's Terminal 2. I never realized it. Okay, so here's the approaching aircraft. If you're the tower controller, ito yung makikita mo. Incoming A350. Here's the runway threshold. Here's the touchdown zone, which I was aiming for. Alright. I'm okay with that. Alright, and that would do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching Flight Sim. Maraming salamat po for keeping me company on this trip, on this short trip, on this very rainy Friday night. And on behalf of all the flight streamers in the Philippines and the Flight Sim community in the Philippines and the rest of the world, maraming salamat. Keep yourselves dry, enjoy your weekend, drink plenty of water, and I'll see you again on our next stream, which I'm very happy about. I'm going to be streaming some DCS action for all y'all. Thank you so much. You have a great rest of your night. Ending the stream now.